Thank you for listening to the Die Hard Den podcast presented by Detroit Lions on the Prowl on the Belly Up Sports Podcast Network. Some said we would go belly up, so we made it our name, and we're still here. Happy New League Year! Coming up on this edition of the Die Hard Den podcast presented by Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Shawnee J and I start season 4 of the Die Hard Den podcast, and we take a look at the moves made by new Lions general manager Brad Holmes. And then we play a game of Hell Yeah or Hell Naw. All this and more coming up right now on this edition of the Die Hard Den podcast presented by Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Watch out. Here comes that roar. What up, though? This is Curt Steele, and welcome to the Die Hard Den podcast. And as always, I'm with my man, Shawnee J.
Hey, good people, it's Shiny J, and once again, Curtis is super hyped.
You know how we do it. You know how we get down right here at the Die Hard Den podcast. Of course, I'm excited because you know what? It is time to tell me something good, and it is Happy New League Year, people. It is the 2021 NFL seasons, which means it is what? The new season of the Die Hard Den podcast. We are on season 4. Hey, it's the third with Shawnee J, and it's the 4th overall on the podcast. For our loyal fans and listeners out there, the family of the Die Hard Den podcast, we appreciate you for tuning in for all of this time and being a loyal listeners of the Die Hard Den podcast. Shawnee J, my man, tell me something good.
Well, you hit the two things I was going to say. Yes, the happy new NFL New Year. I mean, there's been a lot of activity going on the last couple of days. And yes, this is our 4th season with the Die Hard Den show, my 3rd season with the show. It's been fun. It's been real. I really enjoy this. You know, I hope we can go on for several more years as long as we can go. But the two things I want to say about something good. Something related to the Lions, but it's still supporting. Mm-hmm. One, I want to thank the good Lord for allowing the big dance to come back. They start today with the 2 play-in games.
Right.
And they kick off in earnest tomorrow this weekend. I can't wait till Saturday afternoon when Michigan Wolverines take on Texas Southern, who won one of those playing games. I thank the good Lord for letting it come back. You know, it wasn't here last year. A lot of people missed it. I missed it. A lot of people were miserable. But thank God it is back. Okay. And the other thing I want to say is related to our show. I got to give a big shout out to my girl, Miss Sheila, over in the Philippines.
Right.
You know, she's a beautiful young woman. I hope to marry that woman one day. I went over there and saw her. You know, and I can't wait to get back and get this coronavirus thing settled. But the thing is, she's a big fan of the show. And Curtis, as soon as you post the show online, she shares it over there in the Philippines with friends. So we're internationally known. We internationally know. So I gotta give a big shout out to my girl, Miss Sheila.
Okay, thanks, Miss Sheila. We appreciate you for sharing the Die Hard Den podcast and helping us have an international audience. That is a big thing. So thank you very much. And we appreciate you right here on the Die Hard Den podcast presented by Detroit Lions on the Prowl. And as always, hey, thank you for checking us out. Do us a favor. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube. You know, go ahead and click the subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. Like the video and share the video. If you're watching on Facebook, hey, click the like button. Share it with all your friends. We really appreciate that. It helps us get this content and grow our channel. And, of course, if you are on Facebook, join our Facebook page. Shawnee J kills it over there, keeping you informed of all Detroit Lions news and rumors right there on our Facebook page. And if you're listening on one of the podcast platforms, thank you for the listen and the download. And we appreciate your business right here on the Die Hard Den podcast. Hey, it's time to get into some content. It is time to go on the ball. And Shawnee J, you know what the biggest news of the week was? The biggest news in Lions week was the re-signing of one Mr. Romeo Okwara. That brother comes back. Hey, these guys are staying home in Detroit. So we're gonna talk about these guys. Let's say who's staying home. So we know Romeo Aquara is the big news. Returns on a 3-year deal worth $39 million in total if he gets all the incentives. Then you have linebacker Jalen Reeves-Maybin comes back on a 1-year deal worth up to $2.3 million. And then cornerback Mike Ford comes back on a 1-year deal worth up to $1.2 million. Now, of course, Romeo Aquara staying in the Honolulu Blue and Silver was the biggest re-signing for the Lions. What do you think about Romeo Aquara coming back to Detroit?
I love it. Last week I got a little nervous, to admit.
Mm-hmm.
The Lions, like I said, when we talked about the Lions, did not use the franchise tag on him or Kenny Galladay. And, Kenny Galladay's still trying to negotiate, get a contract, but there might be an issue with him getting a contract. Who knows? That's another story. But as far as the core goes, I'm very happy. He had a career high 10 sacks with the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
He's having his best seasons with the Lions after coming over as a free agent from New York, the Giants, that is. I hope he builds upon that. The Lions have enough problem getting pressure on the quarterback. They just couldn't let a guy who got 10 sacks by himself walk out the door.
Yeah.
So we need to build on him. Hopefully, like I said, use Trey Flowers right. Trey Flowers, his average at least 7.5 sacks a year, like he was getting. I felt he was misused by Patricia or this, new guy we signed who's supposed to be a pass rusher, but hopefully he can have an extension here in Detroit the same way Aurora did. So we'll talk about him later too.
Yeah, we definitely gonna talk about our new additions later on in the program. Romeo Aquara coming back. Family is a big part of that. His brother's playing, and hopefully they can build something, and we can have some bookend Aquaras that's attacking the quarterback here in Detroit. I just like the fact that he is one of the guys that we kind of kept around because of the fact that he had such a good year last year. He's had 20 sacks in his career, and 17 of them
all with the Lions.
20 of them came with the Lions. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where he has developed his game, and he said, in his press conference that the cat's out of the bag. So he's going to make sure that he does things to improve his game. So he's looking to improve his pass rushing ability just because of the cat got out of the bag last year. They knew what he was doing, but he's athletic. And one of the things that I really like about the re-signing is how young he is. He's only 25 years old. He's been in the league for quite a while, but he's only 25. So he has a lot of growing to do and a lot more tread on the tires to go. So I like the fact that we re-signed Romeo Aquara. Then bringing in special teams ace, linebacker Jalen Reeves-Maybin, who may get some chance to play some linebacker. He's a good coverage linebacker. He has some pretty good speed. I always kind of saw him as that kind of viper role where he's that big safety, a small linebacker type of deal where he can cover and he can play in the box as well. So I like the fact that we kept our homegrown talent. Now here's the deal with him. I heard this on a different show. And it is the truth. The Lions had an exemption for him for his contract. So basically, the exemption was that they're only on the hook for half of his contract. So basically, he had an exemption for a player going into his 5th season with an expiring contract. So it's some kind of roster salary exemption where the Lions are only on the hook for half of that $2.3 million. They had 2 players that were eligible for this exemption, and one left, which was Jamal Agnew, and we'll talk about how he left later on. But he didn't stay, so we re-signed Jalen Reeves-Maybin to a 1-year deal. I like the signing, bringing him back into the fold.
I'm disappointed we lost Agnew. That was my boy,
Yeah, that's your boy, man, Jay Boogie over there, but. Yeah, he's going to greener pastures for himself. But I like Jalen. I've always liked Jalen Reeves-Maybin. I like the way he plays. He plays with a lot of fire. He's always playing fast. I just think he was underutilized under the Patricia regime, like a lot of players were, underutilized or playing out of position. But he's gonna get a chance to play under new defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn, and I just like the move by the team by bringing him back.
I I do too. I wish he could have brought Davis back because those are two
Mm-hmm.
athletic linebackers like Campbell and
Mm-hmm.
Glenn Like. But as you said, Davis is gone. A lot of fans were happy to see him leave like Stafford. But let's just hope they don't come back to bite the Lions like they often do.
Yeah, definitely. And then Mike Ford. Mike Ford's an underrated special teams player, and he's a decent corner. I mean, plays well in the slot, physical, not overpowering, but he plays with it like with a fire and gusto. He's fast, so I like them bringing back some speed on that side of the ball.
I do too. He's an undrafted free agent.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good player, a spot starter, special team, as you said. I think you could place Coleman's role and be that slot corner. I think
Yes,
so.
definitely, definitely. All right, so that was on the ball. We talked about the guys who stayed in Detroit. We had some figures that was like, okay, we can't let everybody go, so we're gonna bring these guys back. So we talked about those guys. Now it is time to defend the den, and to defend the den this week, we're going to go a little bit different. We're going to talk about the players who have came into Detroit via either free agency or a trade. So now here's a big one. Detroit Lions traded for their defensive tackle, Michael Brockers. All right, we got him for a 2023. Now this is a big move by Brad Holmes. He got this guy for a ham sandwich. All right, 2023 seventh round pick. So and part of the deal was that he gets a new contract. So he'll get a new contract in Detroit once he comes in off vacation. But this guy's a leader. He has pressures. I mean, he's playing out there in LA. He is a really, really good interior defensive lineman. Uh, he's a little older, but he's not super old. He's 30 years old, but he's a quality player for the Detroit Lions to help that defensive line, which we need that help, getting pressure on the ball, stopping the run. So he's going to be a key figure. Now, he will probably get some sideways looks from the quarterback because this is the same guy that said Matthew Stafford was a level up from Jared Goff. So out there in LA, and at the time he had no idea he was coming to Detroit. But what do you think about the Lions bringing in Michael Brockers? Now let's talk about a couple other guys before we get into a deep discussion. Now we bring in Michael Brockers, and we brought in Jared Goff from via trade from the Rams. And then we signed Jamal Williams. Now I talked about this guy on another show over there on Speak Easy Sports, over there on Woodward Sports. So go over there and check out Speak Easy Sports over there on Woodward Sports. My man, he holds it down. He has a good podcast over there. So Jamal Williams coming over from Green Bay. I like that signing because we get to drink some Green Bay tears because they were sad to see him leave. And then former Saints tight end Josh Hill reunites with Dan Campbell on a 1-year deal worth up to $1.2 million. Now, what do you think about Michael Brockers coming over to the Lions via trade? I mean, for basically, a pack of Skittles. I mean, what do you think about him coming
Right.
over to the Lions?
I like that we got him. I like we got him for only a seventh round pick, and I facetiously posted in the group, let's offer the Rams a fifth round 2030 pick for Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
See they go for it.
And I,
Yes,
I
I'm for that.
and I quickly said, yeah, that we already tried that in the Stafford trade, and they say, hell no.
Okay, I did that facetiously.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so can we fleece him again? 'Cause I think the Rams got fleeced in the golf deal. I think Goff's still a good quarterback. He a new chance like Stafford. I love Stafford,
Yeah.
but both need a change in environment because the fans got on both guys, so
Mm-hmm.
both need a change of scenery, and I think both will do well. But hope Goff does better. But as
Right.
far as Broncos go, he's a good player. But the question that the fans going to bring up,
Mm-hmm.
have already brought up is, can he do it well on his own while Aaron Donald playing next to him?
Well, we'll see. I mean, we'll
And
see.
with the year, help me out. The year Sue was out there, Sue started
Mm-hmm.
and Donald started. So I guess they brought Broncos off the bench rather.
Yeah, he back then because he was a rotational player, because he could play
Mm-hmm.
in or he can play tackle. So he was one of those guys. I think they were playing a 4-3 back then when Sue was out there. So
For 1 year, yes.
Yeah, for 1 year.
The
So
Super Bowl.
yeah. So Michael Brockers is a good player. So say what you will, but that guy's I mean, you want to watch the tape, and that guy can ball. So um, it wouldn't be a deal where you had to get that money off the books because he was worth pretty. He's worth what we were going to have to be on the hook for because he just signed a new contract. But they needed to clear the cap space, and we got a good player for the low. So I mean,
I like that. Yeah.
yeah. Now here is the biggest one, man. When I said I talked about this guy, as soon as Aaron Jones signed his deal in Green Bay, I'm like, okay, he's leaving Green Bay because they're not gonna keep uh, AJ Dillon because he had a really good rookie season, even though they played that three-headed monster in Green Bay. So you weren't gonna keep all three of those guys, Aaron Jones, AJ Dillon, and keep Jamal Williams. So I'm like, okay, if this guy's on the market, I hope we can scoop him up. He's in the division, and I hope we can get him. And I'm glad we got him. It keeps us from having to use a draft pick on a running back in the draft. I like Jamal Williams. Jamal Williams is a versatile back. He has decent size to him. Uh, he's shifty. He can catch out of the backfield. He can block. So he's pretty much a complete back. I mean, it's going to be a potent 1-2 punch with him and Kerryon Johnson. Excuse me, not Kerryon Johnson. Him and DeAndre Swift, and then Kerryon Johnson doing some spot duty. Because I still think the Lions and really Deuce Staley are looking at keeping Kerryon Johnson. So those are going to be our three backs on the roster coming up this year.
Of course, that's boy. I wanted Najee. I love Najee. I want a stud. He's a stud. I mean, 6'2", 230, speed, good hands. Like everybody's too afraid to draft the running back that high. If that was the case, we never took Barry or Billy Sales. But I digress. But anyway, yeah, I like Jamal Williams. He's a good running back. He never was a starter in his years in Green Bay. Primarily a backup, but a good backup. And
no, he did start. He started when Aaron Jones went down. He was the starter.
Well, a handful of games, but still primarily the backup running back. But I still like it. I like the addition, I like the signing.
Yeah.
But still, I want a young stud. Like
the guy's only 25 years old, man. You gotta give me a break on this one, man. Come on, man. You can't.
Okay.
Are you just spitting in the wind on this guy, man? You just saying he's trash? Come on, man.
No,
the guy's a good running back, man. Come on, man.
But I want a stud like Najee.
So what? Here you go with the stud thing, man. All that it don't work out every time. Look at Trent Richardson. He was a stud at Alabama too, and look what happened to him.
Yeah, his career, was sideways fast. But we're talking about Alabama's all-time leading rusher and their all-time leading receiver, Devontae Smith. Yeah. And so Alabama is a football factory, but I digress. I'm happy with who we signed. We'll see.
Come on, man. Sometimes you got to be happy with, and I'm happy with this signing because that gives us two versatile backs, and they're kind of interchangeable. You know what I'm saying? So I like this signing. And then the dirty, the grimy, the guy who's going to do the work that a lot of players that we haven't had this in Detroit in a few years. Pretty much a pure blocking tight end, and Josh Hill coming over from the Saints. He's reuniting with his tight end coach Dan Campbell from New Orleans. Now I like this guy because he's just going to do the grunt work. The guy ranked 7th in the league in blocking by a tight end. I mean, that's how good of a blocker he is. So I mean, what do you think about Josh Hill coming over to the Lions?
I like it. Admittedly, I didn't know much about him, but I read up on him. Mm-hmm. Good blocker, much better blocker than receiver, obviously, but he can't catch the ball. Comes from New Orleans, like you said. Campbell knows all about him. This should hopefully help the run game, definitely, theoretically. And also, he can pick up the blitz, too, help protect Jared Goff, like extra offensive lineman out there. So, yes, I like the signing.
Yeah, and it proves to me that the Lions are switching gears to more of a run first type mentality, and they're building something where they're looking at the run game first and not the passing game. I like their signing of him, and he wears the same number as Dan Campbell wore in Detroit. He wears number 89. So It's going to be interesting to see. He wearing his coach's old number in Detroit.
Yeah,
Yeah. Hey,
I agree.
that was the Fin the Den, and we're going to talk about some, a few more players that added and that we added and we kind of left out. But after the break, we're going to have a new special edition because we don't only do this really segment during the season, but we're breaking it out right for the new league year. We're going to play a quick round of Hell Yeah or Hell Nah right after the break. All right, we're back from the break. Shawnee J, you know what it's time to do. It's time to play the favoriteest game of all Lions that watch fans that listen to us or watch our show. It is time for Hell Yeah or Hell Nah. Shawnee J, you ready, my man?
Let's do it.
All right, first up, Brad Holmes is going to be a good general manager in Detroit. Hell yeah or hell nah?
Hell yeah! I said it when they Lions Sheila made all these hires. The Lions put together all-star coaching staff and front office led by Brad Holmes. At first, I kind of questioned some of his moves,
Mm-hmm.
like not franchising anybody. But now, after seeing the signings, it was genius. So remember, Brad Holmes, he's the man. I'm happy to see him. I want to see him succeed in Detroit for a long time, including a couple Super Bowl victories.
All right. Next up, I'm gonna say hell yeah as well. He's been taking his time. He didn't jump out and make some big crazy moves and mess up the salary cap like it's already been messed up by Bob Quinn. He decimated that salary cap on the way out the door. All right, next up, the Lions will have one of the best run games in the NFC North next season with the addition of Jamal Williams and Josh Hill and all those guys. Will they have one of the best run games in the NFC North next season? Hell yeah or hell no?
I'm gonna go hell yeah because the running back coach
Mm-hmm.
Duke Staley, who was a star running back himself back in the day with the Eagles,
Mm-hmm.
he said he likes the stable backs we already have. He likes Swift and Kerryon. He'll love Jamal Williams. Now, of course, there's no Najee, but Deuce
Hey,
thinks he gets the best out of these running backs, and I think our running game is going to be much better than it was last year. It has to be. So yes, hell yeah, our running game will be strong next season.
all right. I'm gonna say hell yeah because we're gonna concentrate on running the ball and play action. So I think for us to be effective in play action, you have to be able to run the ball. All right, next up, Romeo Okwara will lead the Lions again in sacks in 2021. Hell yeah or hell no?
Hell yeah, it's the best
Mm-hmm.
pass rush we got out. They took a risk. They took a risk by not franchising him.
Mm-hmm.
He could easily sign a contract and someone threw much more a boatload of money at him. He could have signed with someone else. That was a calculated gamble, but the
Mm-hmm.
Lions won. I mean, he resigned here. Like he's a little guy. His
Mm-hmm.
little brother's here. He want to play with his brother. So yes, he's the best pass rusher we have. I think he will, get at least an additional 2 sacks this season to make his total at least 12. I'm calling it right now,
Right.
12 sacks for Romeo Cora in 2021.
I'm going to say hell yeah as well. I don't think he's going to add that many sacks. I think it's going to be around the same because I think they're going to share the wealth around that defensive line. So I say yes, he's going to lead. Hell yeah. Now, here's the last one. With all the moves that we made, drafting. I mean, as far as the free agency has gone and trades, the Lions will draft a wide receiver with the number 7 pick in the draft. Hell yeah or hell nah?
I would say hell yeah still because we did sign a couple receivers,
Mm-hmm.
Rashad Perryman and Terrell Williams. but they're not number one guys. So we got Quintet Cephas, but still there's room for a superstar like
Mm-hmm.
either Devontae Smith
Mm-hmm.
or the guy from LSU, Chase,
Jamar Chase,
Jamar Chase, or even um
Waddle.
Miss teammate Waddle. Exactly.
Yeah.
Now Waddle has great speed, but I still say Swift's the better receiver because he put up the production, the all-time leading receiver for Alabama and the Heisman and other trophies.
Okay.
So, so what do you think about those two, Waddle or Smith?
Uh, I'm gonna answer the question. I'm gonna say hell yeah as well. I'm gonna go with Jamar Chase. I like his game. He was a Blitnikoff Award winner the year before when LSU won a national championship. I think he gets a little bit of forgotten because he set the year out because of the COVID restrictions or whatever. So, uh, but between Jamar to me is between uh, Smith
Waddle.
and Waddle. I lean towards Waddle. He has a bigger body. He's fat. He's blazing fast. I like the way he's built. I think he's built NFL ready. I think Smith's gonna have to get his body ready for the NFL season, where Waddle's body's already built for the NFL.
Okay.
Yeah. So, all right, that's hell yeah or hell nah. We did a quick 4 question hell yeah or hell nah to start the season off right with the new league year. But that will return later on when we get towards the season. So, enjoy that special edition of the hell yeah or hell nah. Now, let's take a look at, and we calling this safe travels to you. Now, these are all the players who have kind of just left Detroit either via free agency or being released. Now, we have wide receiver Jamal Agnew left. He went in free agency, signed a 3-year deal out there in Jacksonville. And Marvin Jones joins him out there in Jacksonville as well. They're reuniting with Darrell Bevel out there in Florida. Then you have linebacker Jared Davis. Jared Davis goes to the New York Jets, lines up with who? Robert Salah up there in New York on a 1-year deal worth $7 million. Now Justin Coleman was released, but then he signed a deal to go to Miami. Now here's some more releases that we have. We have Chase Daniels got released. His was official today. You have offensive guard Joe Dahl was released, and Danny Shelton. Now these guys were released with failed physicals, so they are due injury settlements because of the fact that they got released with an injury with a failed physical, and we get some cap relief from that. So that was a big deal to designate those guys with those I just said it, those guys with the failed physicals. Now you have two guys that I won't say I'm elated, but the next 3 guys I was like, okay, yeah, they needed to go. You have Christian Jones, Desmond Trufant, and Jesse James. All were released by the Lions, and I was not sad to see those guys leave. So I mean,
Hmm.
they just really underperformed for the Lions. Um, so with those guys, and then you had another guy, center Russell Bodine was also released by the Lions, backup center. He really didn't see a lot of time. Like he wasn't on the roster that long, but those guys also left. Now we have some additional moves that kind of came in late, so we did another graphic for those guys, and we'll look at those additional roster moves. Additional roster moves that we had people leave. You had Matt Prater headed to Arizona. Legatron is gone. 2 years out there in Arizona. A base salary of $7 million, and it can be upwards or more with incentives. Now we did bring in former Packers quarterback Tim Boyle, who I have never heard of, to a 1-year deal worth $2.5 million with Detroit. And we talked about this. The Lions signed former 2017 first round draft pick defensive end Charles Harris. Now I know this deal isn't done quite yet, and former Jets wide receiver and the son of a former Lions wide receiver, Brashad Perriman. You all know his dad, Brett, was a great wide receiver for the Lions. he was one of the wide receivers that was in one of the best times in Detroit. I mean, everybody just think about Barry at that time, but you had three really good wide receivers on that squad. You had Herman Moore, Johnny Morton, and Brett Perriman. Those guys lit the league up.
Yes, they did.
Yeah. So, what do you think about those departures from the Lions? Who did you who I say who would you say you were saddest to see leave, and who do you think were who you were like happiest to see go?
Well, sad to see go. Of course, I hate to see Stafford. I really like
Hmm.
Matthew. Good
Hmm.
quarterback, the best quarterback the Lions ever had up
Hmm.
to date. So let's hope Jerry Goff can be the second best quarterback we ever had. Let's see. I was to see, like I said, Jared Davis go because he's a physical specimen. I mean,
Hmm.
I know his stats weren't the greatest his first few years in Detroit, but
Hmm.
once again, it will be a case of Lions luck, meaning once they release a player, he does well elsewhere. So we
Yeah.
shall see.
Yeah, with those
And,
guys, yeah. Now my saddest probably it would be Marvin Jones. That was probably the saddest, besides Matthew Stafford, of course. But as far as the guys we in that segment, I would say Marvin Jones was my least favorite to go. I like Marvin Jones. I like his production. I like the person that he is. He's a family man. He's got a gang of kids, but you can see him and his wife, Jasmine. They really take care of those babies, and they're just a good people, salt of the earth type of people. The guy I probably was happiest to see go is probably Desmond Trufant. I never was I never was sold on that signing. I was never really, he was always injured in Atlanta, and I was just like, this guy's supposed to replace Slay. Come on, man, that never worked out for us.
no,
No, so, um, but Legatron going out there. Congratulations to him. Now his wife is from Arizona, so basically they're kind of going home to be with family.
yeah, it had a lot to do with it, I'm sure.
Yeah, and then so we have some breaking news. Just now, the Lions are agreeing to sign veteran kicker Randy Bullock. He's a former Cincinnati Bengals. Is coming over to kind of take his place. So, um,
Yeah,
hopefully, we can. He doesn't have the strongest leg like Prater. I think his career long is like 57. And Prater could kick it 60 plus. But good luck to him. Bullock, hopefully, he'll be a camp battle. So I know we have a rookie kicker that's going to be on the squad as well. So, hey, it is what it is. So, hey, that's 2 points conversing this week. We had hell yeah or hell no. Hey, it is already time for us to do what? It's time for us to go ahead and get on out of here. It is that time, Shiny J. Shiny J, now, what's your final thoughts on the first week of the league year for the Lions?
so I just want to say I thank God for letting things get back to normal because this time a year ago,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, we had no tournament. A lot of things got canceled. The
Mm-hmm.
NFL had to figure out how they want to play the 2020 season with things are getting back to normal. And I know nothing but God for that.
Yes, yes, we do. Hey, my thing is, it is the new league year. I'm happy it's here, and I'm liking the approach by Brad Holmes. He's being patient, he's being frugal, and he's not coming in doing some crazy, things, big splash signings that will keep us in cap hell for the long haul. We're gonna have enough dead cap this year where we need to make sure that we're not overextending ourselves for the at least foreseeable future. Uh, just looking at the Jared Goff deal by itself, that's eating up a lot of our cap space, as long as and with Matthew Stafford's dead money as well. So I'm liking the fact that he's taking his time. He's building a roster. He's not going to be flashy in the first year, but they're going to have some people that's going to be solid and compete uh, with the Detroit Lions here coming up in the 2021 season. So I mean, but as always, hey, thanks you for watching the Die Hard Den podcast. If you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook, like the video, share the video. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Like the video, share the video, give us a comment. Let us know what you think about the show. If you're watching on Facebook, go ahead and comment as well. like it, share it with in many groups as you can because we want to be able to reach more Lions fans just like yourself. And if you're on Facebook, go over there and check out our Facebook page. Shawnee J kills it over there, keeping you updated on what's going on with the Detroit Lions over there on our Facebook page. And if you're listening to the show on one of the podcast platforms, definitely we appreciate you checking us out right there on the podcast platforms. And you can go over to bellyupsports.com. You can find our show over there. If you click on the Detroit Lions and the Proud, because we're presented by Detroit Lions and the Proud, you can check out our show right there on Belly Up Sports, right there under the Detroit Lions on the Proud profile on bellyupsports.com. Shawnee J, tell the folks how they can find you on social media.
Again, my name is Sean Jennings. I'm mainly on Facebook. You can find me there, and I'll be glad to add you to the Detroit Truist fans page group, which is I'm the head administrator there. I keep you informed, and also check us out on the Die Hard Den's webpage as a public page. You will find it. I keep you guys with on that page as well.
Yes, he does. He does an amazing job of keeping everyone informed on what's going on with the Detroit Lions news over there on our Facebook page. You can find the show on Twitter at Die1. You can find the show over there on Instagram at die_hard_den_podcast. And you can definitely find me, your man Curt Steele, right there on Instagram and Twitter at Curtis Steele 14. That's CurtisSteele14. It is definitely time for us to go ahead and get out of here. We really appreciate you checking us out right here on the Die Hard Den podcast. Shawnee J, one last time, what you got for the people before we go?
But still, stay safe. This COVID's not done yet. They're talking about a second wave coming. Let's hope it doesn't. So people still continue to wash your hands, use social distancing, and wear your mask.
Yes, definitely. Hey, I want to send a special shout out to the Stafford family and Matthew Stafford. We appreciate you right here, and we got a special tribute coming to you in the closing, Matthew. So stay tuned. If you're a Matthew Stafford fan, stay tuned to the end of the show. We got a little bit something special on the way out of the door. Now, Curt still has one thing to say. I don't do a lot of hard things, but one thing that has bothered me has been in the news lately is please be kind to one another, love one another, and I stand with the Asian American community, or just the Asian community. Stop Asian hate. This treat people like treat people, love on them, treat people like you want to be treated, and just be kind to one another. Hey, you know what you got to do. Whatever you do in life, you know what you got to do. Curt still always tells you to boss up and ball out and be the best version of you that you can be. For my man, Shawnee J, this is Curt Steele of the Die Hard Den podcast, and we are out.